Hi, I'm Madam Z from MadameZ and Friendz podcast. Before we get started, I want to say thank you so much to my sponsor, Purple Lava Coffee and coffee and energy drinks. So, I have my guest, a very special guest, who's going to provide a ton of information. And this young lady's name is Jessica Warner. Jessica, first of all, thank you so much for coming to my podcast. I really appreciate it. I know that you have a whole life going on, and I know that this was a lot, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here and to be on Miss Z's podcast.
Yay!
Thank you.
Okay, so imagine, to my surprise, to find out that you are a genuine, certified, bona fide court stenographer. Like, wow. First of all, let's go all the way back. What was the deciding factor that made you decide, oh, I want to do this?
Honestly, I got tired of working in restaurants. I have been in restaurants since I can remember, and I got tired of working at 1, 2 in the morning. I got on TikTok of all places, and I looked up careers that were in demand that didn't need a 4-year degree, and I found court reporting. And from there, I joined some Facebook groups, and before I knew it, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna do this. This is what I want to do," and that's how I got started.
Wow. Okay, so now this is the purpose for my podcast, is actually getting the information out there to my viewers and listeners. So now walk me through the journey of becoming a court stenographer.
So the first thing is, you do not have to go to school, but you do have to be certified. I chose to go to school because I came in this career path without knowing anything. I had no background in law or anything like that. So I chose to go to school. Once you go to school, you choose your path. You could do stenography with the machine, which is the typewriter ones that you see. I'm a voice writer, so I actually use, it kind of looks like a face mask, but I use a mask and I speak in code and shorthand. And then we have digital reporters, which aren't certified everywhere, but they can't work in Georgia. And then you take a state test. It's 3 different levels, and then you have to take another test after that. And once you pass these 4 tests, you go through you're certified, and you decide if you want to do freelance or if you want to actually work within the court system.
Holy mackerel.
So yeah.
I listen, I'm learning something new. So, okay. So now that you figured out this path, how long was school? Did it cost money? Like, just walk me through.
So school is the reason why there's a shortage, because a lot of schools do not accept financial aid. So you're paying out of pocket for school, and you are paying out of pocket for your supplies. The good thing is there is such a big community of court reporters that there are so many scholarships out there that once you get connected with the community, they're throwing out legitimate scholarships every other day. And it's not going to cover the full cost, but it may cover your computer, it may cover your machine, it may cover a class. The exact cost starting up, you're looking at about $10,000 to $15,000 starting up, including school and supplies. But if you have FAFSA, which is the route I took, I used FAFSA for school, and it took me about 18 months.
Wow. Okay. So what's that? Full-time, going school full-time and then working part-time just to make sure you were sustaining the household with your husband and children?
Yeah, so I went to school. It is very time consuming because when you're doing your speeds, which is pretty much getting you to the point to be certified, you have to practice on your software for at least 4 hours a day. And that's 5 days a week. So the only job I was able to really do was bartend on the weekends. It is very time consuming. So you have to have a support system, and you have to be a planner, and you have to have great time management to be able to do it successfully.
Holy I had, somebody told me many, we're not even gonna go there how long, but I was a young teenager, and I remember meeting this one woman, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I remember she was on Van Buren, and she tried to get me to come and told me that if I learned, it would be a skill that I could literally take with me for the rest of my life, and I would never go hungry. I would never, there's always a need. Of course, young and dumb, I didn't follow through. And now I'm looking and listening, I'm like, what?
Yes, it is one of those careers where you always have work. Someone's always doing a crime. The justice system is always working. There's never a shortage of work for court reporters. It's to the point where you have to turn down work. And that's me, as most reporters only work maybe 3 to 4 days, if that, a week. So if you're doing a 5-day week, you are overworked as a court reporter. Typically, we only work about 3 to 4 days outside, and then you do work at home. But someone's always calling you to cover some kind of job.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so I heard you say 3 different levels, 3 different. Can you walk me through the first level of you're using the word court reporter, and I'm still saying stenographer like a dingbat. But, okay, the first type of stenographer or court reporter, where are they working? Like, where would we actually see them?
So, to clarify, the levels that I was referring to is your speeds. You have to get at 180 words per minute, 200 words per minute, and then up to 225 words per minute. And that's whether you're typing that or you're speaking that. But in order to be certified, you have to take a test with these levels. And once you pass that test, we're all at the same level for the most part. Attorneys have their preference, but it doesn't matter if you're machine or voice. Attorneys, just as long as you can take the record. And you could do these at any job. As a freelance, I've been in courtrooms, I've been in board meetings, I've been in community meetings, I've been in depositions, I've been in arbitrations, I've been in reading of the will. So your workspace and the expertise you work in just depends on, are you flexible? You know, some people only want to work in court. With me being a baby reporter, I'm just interested in everything. I want to do every job and, you know, see if I like it. If I don't, I won't do it again. If I do, sign me up again to do this one. So it could be anywhere. It doesn't land on a level.
Wow. Okay, so now once you become certified, right, can you take that to another state?
So there are 2 different certifications. I am state certified just in the state of Georgia, but you could actually get nationally certified where there's a lot of reporters that actually live abroad and they work in different states. A prime example is California. Typically, you know, they pay the highest, but they have the highest paid court reporters, but their test is a little bit harder. You have to be nationally certified in California. That's the only state where it gets kind of weird. But anywhere else, if I want to live in Germany and I could find attorneys willing to work on Zoom, I am getting the same pay that I would get in the States. Nothing changes. My certification is still good wherever I am because it's a national certification.
Oh my goodness. How awesome. Benefits?
Okay, this is where it gets weird. So there are freelance and official court reporters. Officials mean you are government, you work for the state. And then there's freelancers like myself. I own my court reporting firm. My benefits, fortunately, come from my husband because he worked for the state. But typically, if you're a freelancer, you are responsible for your own benefits, your own 401k, your own insurance. So that's why you see a lot of people go into being an official because all of that is taken care of by the state because you're a government, you know, employee.
Wow. Is it, and people like to use the word lucrative?
Very. I don't want to go on numbers, but it is a very lucrative career. You are paid hourly. You are paid per page of the transcript. So you choose your own rates. The state will put out, you know, this is the rate that we put out. But as a reporter, you choose how much you're going to charge per page. And the only thing about that, with all the money coming in, you have to be very aware of your taxes because first year reporters, that's the biggest mistake is no one puts anything aside for their taxes because you are a contractor with everything coming in. But
Okay, so that's $11.99 or
$10.99. You're a $10.99
Well, I'm
employee.
thinking $11.99 like the union in New York. Oh my
We
goodness.
are not union. We don't have a union. We don't have a union.
Okay. Oh my goodness, how cool is this? All right, I'm gonna take a break because I want to do a
Okay.
little quiz, a little mini trivia, and let's see how you do.
Okay.
This
not look.
is
I
so
wanna see.
exciting! Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is water cooler trivia. Are you a TV person?
I love TV. I'm not new TV. Like I still watch like Pluto, so I can watch all the older shows.
Okay. Oh, well, how about this one? What American daytime television megastar host released the podcast series Super Soul Conversations? In this series, the host repurposes audio recording from television episodes under a series of the same name started in 2011 on the host's dedicated TV network.
Oh, I don't know that one. I need another hint.
Well, okay, so it's a woman and she has her own dedicated TV network.
Oprah?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Okay. Yes. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay. Let's try another one. No. Oh. Okay. Before it was a Hulu series starring Amanda Seyfried, which 2019 podcast chronicled the downfall of Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos. What was the name of that show?
I don't even know who that is. I have no idea.
It's okay. It's okay. It's called The Dropout.
Never heard of it.
Okay. I think you get this one.
Okay.
The podcast, Fresh Air, Planet Money, and Wait, Don't Tell Me are all produced by what nonprofit media organization headquartered in Washington, D.C.? And recently lost its funding.
NPR. I mean,
Yes!
NPR?
Yes!
Okay. I thought so.
Okay. Look at you. Oh my goodness. I didn't even have to say anything. Oh my goodness. Okay. So back to this. So court reporting stenographer. Same thing.
Same thing. Court reporting is just the more modern term, but the technical term is a stenographer.
Wow. Okay. Now, let's talk about this machine. Now, I didn't even know that they had gotten or they had upgraded. Like, because that's the only word that I could think of. Like, you're not using a machine, they're speaking. Like, what?
Yes. So machine writers, now they're the goats to me. I tried it. I thought I was going to succeed. That it could take those reporters up to 4 years to master that, which is how they moved to The Voice because you could get certified quicker. But they're using I think it's a 12 or a 16 key keyboard, and they type in what they call briefs, which are, they could be 3 letters, 4 letters. And it's so amazing because what they're typing to see what it transfers to on paper and how they're able to remember that is just beyond me. It is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I love it. Then there's the math, which I am. And the cool thing about that is that you're speaking in code. And some of your codes are so ridiculous. And if, it kind of sounds like baby talk. because you're shorthanding everything. And even on top of shorthanding, you have to be a very low tone because you can't have the attorneys hearing you. No one should be able to hear you outside of your mask. So you have to talk right above a whisper, and you have to maintain this slow. I don't know if I could do it on here, but it's a very robotic tone you have to have, and it allows your software to read you better. So you learn about breathing, you learn about taking breaks, you learn about people talking at the same time, which tends to drive you crazy if you're listening. Don't do that. But it's a lot of multitasking in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Listen, that's the awesome thing about this is that I get to learn just like you are learning more. If you had to advise someone interested in becoming a court reporter, what would be the top 5 things you would suggest that they do?
First, you have to have a good, strong support system. You probably could. I couldn't do this by myself. First, a strong support system. Second thing, a community. Find people that already work in this field. Find a community of people that are starting off like you, because there's going to be a lot of failures in this as you're learning this. You have to fail a few times to get better. And you're going to need people to tell you, hey, don't give up. It's okay. You're going to need people to tell you. I remember I was stuck on this level for so long. And then once you get out there, you're going to need that support system of how to, because there's not a lot of information about being a stenographer or a court reporter. The third thing I would tell them is take a business class. Take something that sets you apart. You're doing yourself a disservice coming out here because you're essentially still running a business. There's still tax documents. There's still customer service, organization. Just invest in yourself. If you get a free class at a library, wherever, just reinvest in learning the business aspect. The fourth would be, don't be hard on yourself. You know, your timeline is not everyone else's timeline. Some people come in this career and they hit the ground running, and some people, they kind of have to find their footing. But if you know this is something you want to do and you know that you're ready to put in the work, you know, it's okay. You know, give yourself grace. And the fifth thing is stay open. Stay open. You learn interesting things. Even, you know, hearing different cases, your eyes open up to a bigger world. And at every deposition, every job I go to, I always leave learning an interesting fact or an interesting law that I was like, wow, I didn't even know this existed. And, you know, that's pretty cool. So I'm always open to learn and open to hear new things about it. So
Hours flexible?
very flexible. You choose your own. Wait, let me take that back. It could be flexible. As an official, you work basically a 9-to-5 job. Those are the ones that work for the government. As freelance, you pick and choose what days you work. But a deposition could last for 30 minutes, or a deposition in the state of Georgia could last 7 hours. And you don't know. So in court, the same thing. In Fulton County, you could be there all day. If you're on a jury trial and the jury has not come up with a solution, the court reporter has to stay there. So that's rare, but it happens. So those are the type of things. But for the most part, it's flexible. But you do work at home because you have to build your transcript. You have to edit your transcript. So out in the field, on an average week, less than 20 hours. At home, give or take 10 or 15 hours, depending on how much editing I have to do.
Wow. Now, you know, I'm a high school teacher, right? So what skills would our listeners, viewers need beforehand?
Like to read. You do a lot of reading. That's the most important. You do a lot of reading. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
The grammar aspect, this is the only odd thing of it. I excelled in English, literature, everything. Court reporting, grammar took me out. I actually had to do tutoring for it because it's very different than what they teach you in regular literature, because in court reporting, we naturally don't speak in complete sentences. You interrupt each other, you stop midpoint, someone interrupts you, and there's a completely different way to do your punctuation on that. So, but it's still good to know your basic grammar, but definitely you need to have a background in literature to excel in this career, because it's a lot of reading.
Wow.
I look at it like reading a good suspenseful novel. And when you do divorce cases, it's like a spicy divorce, and you're reading it. So it's still reading,
Right.
but you find fun in it.
So, cough, cough, hint, hint, cough, cough. Reading,
Grammar.
comprehension, writing. Those are the things you really, really need to have down pat, on point. And look, she's doing it. She did it. So I'm going to wrap up. What would be the number one thing that you would want to leave our viewers? What would be the one thing you would want to leave with them?
If I could leave anything with viewers, in general, don't be afraid to pivot. I came into this career at 34 years old. I work with colleagues that came in this career, some at 19, some in their 50s. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to start over. It's out there. Try it out, and if you don't like it, then you pivot to something else, but just keep going.
Do you love what you do?
I do love what I do.
Did you see that big smile? Listen, that's everything.
Thank you.
So listen, I want to wrap up and say thank you so much for, just tapping in and watching MadameZ and Friendz podcast. I hope you learned something. Thank you, Miss Warner. Thank you so much for gracing me on my podcast. Once again, thank you to Purple Lava for sponsoring me, and we are out. Have a good one.